My name's Vince. I'm the founder of Ecotricity. I've set myself a challenge. I'm going to build a wind-powered car. It'll be an electric car, charged from the wind, so there's zero emissions from it. I want to build a sports car, out-and-out sports car. That's the challenge, a wind-powered car.
So where we are now, we've got some milestones in place on the schedule. We've got a lot of parts arriving, and our next biggie is Dale coming to review the car.
Tomorrow Dale's coming, and we want to give him as close an impression as we can of how the real thing will look.
We should have maybe the transmission assembly and the motors mocked up in the car with the real parts. So if that's all in the car, Dale can see it's all happening. I think he should get a good feeling that it's now really going to move.
We've been waiting for him to come because we've got all the front of the car is all a clay model at the moment, and we want him to agree it or ask for some changes so that we can take that component off so that we can get on with sort of assembling the car from the front backwards.
We've smoothed in the area here where there were side indicators. Those will be a little row of LED lights that'll be inside the main light cover, and you can see in the outlet duct we've got a control vane, so all the time trying to look at the most efficient use of the air and the least disturbance, so the lower the drag.
I've seen the thing that it is that's been bothering me. Love the back, looked at the front, thought, yeah, like it, but what is it that I don't like? It's the original Exige bonnet cut out. It's a very sharp 90-degree edge, which doesn't fit with everything else we've got going on. And you know, once he's taken that out, I think we'll have a perfect marriage of front and back.
This isn't necessarily the graphic or the badge or even the words, but it's just something to say there is going to be a badge here, and here's a first little look-see. Yeah,
name. Yeah, I asked the guys what they thought, and they all seem to think Zero is the best name. I'm still gravitating that way. I'm just not ready to say it yet, that's all. I'm still holding out to see what else comes along.
It's got so much power, it's going to be fun to drive, and brushless motors and things, they're going to last forever. You're not going to be changing bearings. You don't need a cam belt change every 60,000 miles. You don't need to change the oil. It's going to be, in the end, cheaper to run. It's definitely the way forward, the future. There's, you know, we ought to be pressing on more, and more companies should be pushing electric vehicles.
Hydrogen may be a way forward, but it is not the way forward.
Just because it's on top gear, some people might think that makes it real, but it doesn't make it real. Hydrogen suffers from so many drawbacks that it just can't be made to work, I think. It's in a race it can't win.
I can see the advantages in using hydrogen fuel cells as a range extender, but I think the Top Gear programme was a little misleading in saying that it's the future. For the base vehicle, I would still feel that the battery is by far the best.
Well, the fundamental problem is one of fuel efficiency. So for every unit of energy that you put in to either an electric car system or a hydrogen car system of charging and driving, you can do 3 times as many miles in the electric system as you can in the hydrogen system.
And all of the hydrogen that is used now is made by a process of reforming, and it actually uses its raw material fossil fuel. So it's certainly not a green energy. In order to make it a green fuel, you need to do something like electrolyze water using electricity. And as long as your electricity is produced from a green form, then you do have a good quality fuel.
Clarkson, I think, was talking about reforming gas, which is a fossil fuel and it's running out. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to say, let's build a hydrogen economy based on a fossil fuel, for one thing. Plus, it makes CO2, which is also stupid. So I think he's got the wrong end of the stick when it comes to hydrogen, and particularly when it comes to hydrogen versus electric cars.
When you turn the hydrogen back into electricity in a vehicle, they're probably about 75% efficient. So in the end, from the electricity that you put into the process to the electricity you've got back in the vehicle, you've only got half of it back again. Whereas a battery, a lithium battery, the power efficiency is more sort of in the low 90s%. It's fantastically much more efficient than hydrogen.
I started off, I needed a car that was more environmentally sound, and I tried to buy an electric car and just couldn't get one. So That was the start of it, and then it morphed from there.
Because there's a lot of other radii on the car that we've done that Dale really likes, we're doing a little mod to the outlet on the top of the bonnet because it was a very sharp cut edge.
I don't use the car very much at all. I think currently, my current car, 2,000 miles a year or something like that, you know, it's like nothing.
This new power source, you know, where the electricity's come from the wind, you know, needs to be exciting and dramatic. It isn't a genteel business, you know. A lot of energy up there in the wind and a lot of that energy we're putting in the car.
You know, I can live with that car pretty well, but I might not want to live without this car.